What's up guys, welcome back to the video. Today we're going to be going over what to do if you're losing on a specific side of the map. Starting off, we're on Canal with an IS-4. I don't play a lot of heavy tanks on this channel, so this is a pretty good example for you guys that wanted to see heavy tanks. Starting off, we're going to go to a neutral position in the middle of the map so we can spot the A crossing. You can see I pinged for my team where I'm trying to spot so that they're ready to pre-fire. We end up not spotting anybody crossing to A, but we do spot this VK-72. And if you look at the map right now, and you have an understanding of map control, you'll know that I'm not exactly within my team's map control, and my whole left side is exposed. So that's the reason that I drop in here and start to move up. Now from this position, I can spot their tank destroyers. I actually end up spotting someone crossing to A, but I have to be careful of behind me down the road. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the pillar support in the bridge to block the Leopard 1 on their team and their M60 from farming me from behind. While we're doing that, we're going to continue to spot and farm this 183 so that we can get their tank destroyers out of the back of the map. And by getting their tank destroyers out of the back of the map, that allows our heavies in the A corner to potentially push from the A corner towards the spawn without taking as much damage for it. This is pretty much the position that we're going to work the rest of the game from. We're going to try to move up towards underneath where the 183 is as soon as we can, but a couple of tanks are going to rush us. We're going to have to deal with them first. Because of the lack of my team contesting medium side, that basically gives the enemy team entire control of that area, and the enemy medium that is over there, the Leopard 1, doesn't really have to worry about anything in terms of getting shot at, getting spotted, until right about now when our tank destroyer starts to move up on him. At this point, if he had wanted to do something to me, if I was still where the E5 was, I would have taken a lot of damage from him. So that's the reason that I chose to move to this position. I was getting out of his line of fire, out of the line of fire of both of the mediums, because at that point I was assuming the M60 would also make a intelligent play and sit back there. You can see that the E5, moving in when he did, pretty much lost half his HP, because he wasn't thinking ahead to, oh, we're going to lose the medium side, we have control of A. He wasn't thinking ahead to that, and only moved once he started taking damage, and you can see how much HP it actually cost him, just from a Leopard 1, an M60, and the VK that moved in. I don't even think the VK shot him, so not the VK, just the two mediums that he didn't react to before they started shooting him. The most important part of reacting to when you're losing one side of the map is doing it before it actually happens, because if you wait until you start to get shot to find out where you're going to get shot from, you're going to take a lot more damage than you need to. And when you're losing one side of the map, that means you need to, most of the time, push the other side of the map. And if you're already down on HP, it's going to make it very hard for you to push the other side of the map. So you can see I already only took like 300, 400-ish damage from that whole movement. I got a whole bunch of damage assist, a whole bunch of damage in, essentially for free, just because I reacted to the fact that we were going to lose the medium side before it actually happened. And this will also be displayed in the next two games. The next game, you're going to see a position that I took where I would have pretty much probably died if I had stayed, but I predicted what was going to happen, moved out of the way, and was able to help win the game. And then the game after that, I wouldn't have necessarily died if I stayed where I was, but I would have just had no effect on the game. So there's more than just one reason on why you want to react to these things, because you can survive and put in a little bit of damage and then survive to the end, but you can do it in a way that loses you the game because you have no effect on the battle while you're doing that. You need to be able to know where your tank needs to be before it needs to be there, and the further into the future you can predict, the better your outcome is going to be. And a lot of that is done by reading the lineup, but most of it is done after you get your initial scouting position, and I'm going to show you that here. I'm going to go to the middle here, and I'm going to do my normal scouting routine. I end up spotting two tanks here, and then a bat chat crosses. I think I get a third tank spotted. Yeah, there's the bat chat. So I could have already predicted that, right? There's three mediums, so two mediums and a light. They're going to go this way. The factors that I can't predict are where the heavy tanks are going to go, but I can see where my heavy tanks are. I see that my heavy tanks are up on the battleship, and if their heavy tanks choose to go to the medium side, they're just going to push over and kill us. So I leave because I know that if I go to the city side, this is within our map control. Everything within the city is part of our map control, and I'm going to try to clear these leading edges of the city that are closest to their map control to make sure that there's nothing sitting in here that's an easy kill. Once there is nothing that's an easy kill up here, I'm going to drive in on the tank that they have spotted that is trying to run. I'm going to miss an easy shot on his lower plate because I don't know how to play the game. And then I'm going to do a simple forward-backwards maneuver here that makes him miss me and gives me his rear. Free HE shot right there. WZ has really good HE. I also light him on fire. And then we clear this guy out. Now we have an idea of where their tank destroyers are. That's another factor that was pretty easy to predict. There's really only like 3 areas that tank destroyers go on this map, so that I didn't really even need to think that much about. I just had to avoid that area if I didn't want to get shot by them. But right now, we see they have 3 mediums on the med side. Those mediums can do anything they want. They can come back here and kill me, because I'm the first tank that they'll run into. They can push over the top and kill that medium, probably taking a lot of damage from the tank destroyers, but eventually killing them too. There's a whole bunch of different things that those mediums can do, and I need to not let that happen to me before I kill these tanks, because if they come in when these tanks are still alive, we're going to have a major problem. So while the Yo is still just clinging onto life, we rush in here and we kill this Grill 15 because he's the one creating the crossfire. Now you can see these 3 tanks are right in front of us. I get the kill here on the T-57 that is almost stopped because the Yo turret gets launched like 100 meters. Makes no sense to me, but whatever. Now you can see the T-22 did rush in. He tried to kill me. We get a shot into him to put him down to a 1-shot, and then we run towards our teammate. So we killed the exposed Grill 15, we came back in, we killed the low HP one, and then we kited back to our team. That's important in really any situation, not just in the situation that the video topic is talking about. That's how you want to be playing. And now that they're kited back to our heavy tank, he's shooting the higher HP target, he's not going to kill him. We put him in a crossfire, and we help kill that WZ. So this game was pretty quick and a lot of action very quickly, but to recap, initial scouting position, saw we were outnumbered on that side, ran back to our map control, cleared out as much of the map control as we could, saw that the mediums could potentially come back and end the game very quickly, so we had to make a decision. We either run or we go in. I had enough HP and DPM to go in, so we chose to go in. We cleared out 2 tanks, ran back to our team for support, killed the 3rd tank, and then on the other side of the map, our team managed to win there. So that was our reaction to not having the numbers advantage on the medium side. Alright, and on this replay, we are going to do the same style that we always do in our light tanks. We're going to get that initial position, scouting, information, very important. We get 4 tanks spotted here, and then we're going to kind of play with them while we're still spotted. They're going to chase us. They might not be stupid enough to overpoke this ridge, but they always might be. Then you get a ton of assist. And even if they're not, this draws them to an area where you know where they are. Something important to know about Normandy is that if you're on this little corner here and nobody's down below on that platform below me, they can push that for free and sneak up on me and kill me if I'm at that corner. Because if somebody pushes over the top where the 2 bunkers were, where I was looking, and comes from below me at the same time, I die. So I rotate back so that I can spot that while it is happening. Grill 15 decides to do it, so does the WZ. And now our Ho-Ri and our Kronvon are in a crossfire. Now the Ho-Ri knows that he needs to react in some sort of way. The Kronvon also knows that he needs to clear out these 2 tanks. Unfortunately, the Ho-Ri does not do this in the best way possible. He kind of just pops over the ridge and kills himself on this WZ. And the Kronvon actually does hold properly. But as soon as this Kronvon goes in and tries to help out this Ho-Ri, the BZ-75 pops up down there too. And at that point, I just need to go in. I need to help this Kronvon survive, because if you look at the top right corner of the map, we're not winning that engagement. That's very unlikely. The amount of tanks that are coming in here, we're also not winning this engagement. So if I just wait for us to lose both engagements, I'm just waiting for us to lose the game. So I need to make a move. Low HP tanks, we kill first. That's always how you win games, right? So we go in on this WZ-113, take a hit for him, but we get his gun out of the fight, so it's worth it. This Concept 1B, we can HE in the rear, get a big hit into him so that Kronvon can kill him before the Concept kills him in return. Now here I make a huge mistake, and I don't start turning around before the BZ starts driving. That's just pure not paying attention on my part. Good for me, he doesn't actually pen the Hesh, so we still get out of here with a lot of HP to spare. We can take his tracks off here too, prevent him from jumping off. We don't want him to escape down to the bottom. If he does, it's not that huge of a deal. We can just leave him, kill the other guys, and then come back for him later. The game's not going to last long enough for him to become a threat again if he drops down, but we just want to remove him as quickly as we can. And now here, we're going to try to get as much value out of the VZ-55 before he dies as he can. because that bat chat will escape and disappear very quickly. So we're going to use a little bush play here. See that bush on the ground? Put that between me and the bat chat. So the first time I fire, I don't get spotted, because I want this bat chat to start farming out on our VZ55. Because if he fires at least once, which he just did, I know that I'm no longer a one clip, and I don't need to play as carefully as I would if he didn't fire that first shot. He ends up killing the VZ55. Split second later, I finish him, and that's game. So that one, we were kind of losing on both flanks. We had an aggressive flank up top on the map that wasn't going the best, wasn't really going the worst either. And then on the bottom of the map, we were definitely losing that flank, but we put in some seriously good support along with our tank destroyer helping us out. And then we chose the right time to go in, which is the theme for the last two replays. You need to know when to go in so that you don't have to deal with two flanks at once, which is called getting wrapped or getting flanked, whatever. If you wait too long, then you have to deal with two different angles and you're in a crossfire and you just don't win those situations. So you gotta know when is too early and when is too late and get that perfect timing down. Completely win the flank that you're on, or the easier flank to win. You can always rotate if you're a light tank, because you have that mobility and you have that ability to affect the game on either side of the map where you need to. You rotate, find the right flank that's weak, you kill that flank, and then you set up good positions so that when the enemies either try to hold or push out or whatever, you have a crossfire for them when they're approaching what is left of your team on the flank that you won. So hopefully that helps you guys figure out how to win games where you're losing on a specific side of the map, not just med side. I mean, it's applicable to both sides, and if you're in a light or a medium, you're definitely able to rotate. I tend to like this better in a heavy or a light tank, or in a medium or a light tank, because in a heavy tank you have to just start reversing, and you have to hold really well, and you just have to survive as long as possible, and you have to rely on your team more to win the rest of the flank, because if your team doesn't push the other flank and they don't do anything, they're just going to get wrapped and they're just going to die. So you have to be more reliant on your team in a heavy, but you also still have to be good personally, because you still have to be able to hold, you still have to be able to kite the team back and survive for a really long time. So there's skill on both sides. It's just a little bit slight differences. So I hope this helped you guys, and anyway, have a great rest of your day.